Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you out to my backyard down by the garden where I am working on my hay bales for my sweet potatoes. Even though we had some heavy, wonderful rain come through last night, you still have to keep working the hay bales or straw bales or the mixture of both. It depends on what you could get a hold of. And I was lucky and got a hold of both because I was just needing to be able to get these sweet potatoes done. Now, I am at the halfway mark of feeding and working the bales, and today's going to be the heavy feeding day, and I usually use a little extra oomph in fertilizing when I'm doing this day, and I wanted to bring you along and also answer a lot of questions. One of them being, how do you know the bales get hot? Well, throughout the process you have to poke holes down into the bales so the nutrients can get all the way down also to the bottom of the bales. You want the nutrients from the top all the way to the bottom. And that's why I usually line the bottom of the beds with last year's leftovers and composted leaves, a little dirt, and keep building the beds up. So we're going to walk along and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'll see you here in a bit. Okay, now I'm working on the second bed here, poking holes in it, and I'm hoping y'all can see this. That one's not going to do it. Some of them, if you look down in there, you'll feel the heat and the steam that comes out. There we go. I don't know if you can see the steam, but you will see and feel that steam. And these bales are getting good and hot, which is good, because it means it's starting to break down. Them nutrients are getting down in there, and you want to go through and break it up so that you can get those nutrients all the way down in those bales. There's steam. I'm not sure if you can see it coming out. Trying to get a good picture of it. This one's good and hot, which is a good thing. Hopefully you can see that steam coming out of there. That's a really good sign. That's what you want to see. That is not mold and stuff, but that is steam. And you want to make sure that you get down through here and get these bales worked good so those nutrients and that water can get down in all the way to the bottom. Alright, I'm going to pause it a minute. Okay, I paused that at the right time. A train came through. Alright, I got the rest of these bales broke up. Now, you do want to keep the the string around the bales, because they still have to keep some kind of form. Right now I'm sprinkling more Epsom salt because plants desperately need magnesium to grow and thrive. And the one thing you have to remember is that these hay and straw bales have absolutely no nutrients in them at all. I'm going to try to pull this up and see if I can find you some steam. Everything's breaking down nicely. Woo, those are hot. Let's see, can you see that steam coming out? Okay, I don't know what happened. It just cut off. I probably pushed a button. And see, that's breaking down. That's what you want to see. Trying to get down in here. You can see some of the steam coming up. I know I need to soak this even more, even though we had some massive downpour last night. You still got to make sure that these bales are completely soaked. And of course, out comes the sun, and it's going to get humid as can be. Now, that was the Epsom salt. Both beds have been Epsom salted. Let me put you down a minute. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I got that Epsom salt off my hands. Okay. Now, halfway through fertilizing the bales, I add a little bit of lime. Not a whole lot. But lime helps your plants be able to absorb phosphates, phosphorus, and so on more readily. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about using ground up drywall. That's nasty. They use glues, they use chemicals, and all kinds of stuff to make drywall. You see this? That is pure powdered limestone. You can go to Tractor Supply, buy you a bag for under $4. Why on earth would you want to use drywall, people? Use natural. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on there. You don't want a whole lot, but you want just enough. You want just enough to make sure those bales have some in it. And this is pure ground limestone. No chemicals, no glues, nothing. I still don't understand why anybody would want to use drywall. That's just nasty, in my opinion. Okay, those have been limed, and I'll only do that once, because I make sure that they get a good dose of it on them. Now the other ones I have used the fertilizer tea on. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it stinks, folks. But you know what? It's all natural. And you know what's going in your garden. And I'll have a link to my previous video and playlist at the end of the video, as well as in the description box. And you'll just walk alongside each one, make sure they get a good soaking of it. I think I'm going to soak these bales a couple times. I want to make sure that they get all those nutrients in them. Grow whatever you can, people, whichever way you can. You're going to have to grow as much food that you can as possible. Excuse me. And I got one more bale to do with the manure tea. Trying to make sure that I aim the camera best I can. Okay. Now in my first video, you remember that I put the chicken grit rocks in the water. Oh, I'm down here. Well, in here now, I ground up about, probably about 30, 40 antacid pills. Which, yep, good old calcium. And your plants will thank you for it. And of course I'm going to water this in. I know it sounds odd. But as much monsoon rain as we got last night, the bales are actually still not soaked all the way through. Alright, I'm going to finish up doing the calcium water in the bales, and I'll bring you back. And like I said, everything that goes into my bales is organic. Now, I have some fruit and citrus tree fertilizer that got wet. So guess what's going on top of the bales as well? I want to make sure that these sweet potatoes are happy and healthy. Now the fertilizer is still good. You're just going to have to break. I'm just having to break it up. I usually don't use this, but you know what? I want to go on and use it. I've got to get some fresh citrus and fruit tree feed anyway. And the only reason this got wet is because raccoons chewed into the bag of fertilizer. Okay, I'm just going to pour water into that and get it all out. But I wanted to bring you along, answer some questions, and show you that no matter what, even if it rains, you still got to work these bales. I hope this encourages you to also try your hand at bale gardening, because I'm telling you, I'm sold when it comes to growing your sweet potatoes in it. That's if you can get a hold of them. Everyone, take care, stay safe, stay sound, stay hydrated. I'm going to get out of the sun for a little bit, take a break, and I'm fixing to come back and water all this wonderful, all-natural fertilizer into these bales. And before long, they'll be ready to put my sweet taters in. Everyone, take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. I'll see you soon.